Really? I was guess what?
Hey everyone, let's get started. So tonight's tutorial is going to be on building your first hack, and it's going to be presented by me. I'm Kunal, by the way. So I'm also the president of Terrapin Hackers. So if anyone's interested in getting involved, helping out with Terrapin Hackers or BitCamp, just talk to me after the hack tutorial. So the things I'm going to go over today are, first of all, what hacking is, why you should hack, and why it's important. And then I'm going to go over the basics of GitHub using APIs. And after all of that, we're going to put it all together, throw up a web server, and make a web app that responds to SMS messages so that when you send it a zip code, it'll respond with the local weather. So let's get started with what hacking is. So it's not about breaking into computers or any of that cybersecurity stuff, obviously, and it's not even limited to computer software or hardware or anything like that. It's just about building interesting things, things that you'd want to work on with the tools that are available to you, however limited or unlimited that might be. And the reason that it's important. So as a computer science major, as an engineering major, let's think about it that way. So all the work that you do in your classes, it's great and all, and you'll learn quite a bit from it, but it's not enough, and the knowledge that you get from class wouldn't be practical enough to go out into a job or go out into the real world and start building interesting things with what you know. So hacking definitely helps you get better at doing that. And also, when you're hacking on your own side projects, the things that you'll be working on are things that you want to make, and these aren't going to be things for a class. You'll just be making them because it's interesting to you and you want to, and you'll have a lot more fun with those projects than you will with anything that you do in class. So with that, let's move on to Git. So first of all is everyone got Git downloaded. I posted some instructions on the Facebook event yesterday. Does anyone need help with that at all? Nobody? Okay. So Git, it's a tool developed by Linus Torvalds. It's a revision control and collaboration tool. And it's great for managing your source code, and you should definitely know how to use it if you're going to be working on your own projects, especially if you're hacking. Git's great. If you accidentally break something, you can go back to the last branch or the last commit pretty easily and go back to a point when you had working code. And it's also the industry standard, so if you go into a job or anything, you'll probably have to use Git anyway. And it's also great for demoing the things that you've worked on. If you have a GitHub account, you can kind of have a portfolio of your own side projects. So let's get started by creating a GitHub repository and making our first commit to it. So if you haven't already, go to github.com and go to your own account. And to create a repository, you're going to click on this plus sign at the top over here and create a new repository. And you can name it whatever you want. So I'll just name this one and that's it. You've created your first repository on GitHub. So now to connect your local computer into this repository, create a new create a new directory, and you can do that with this command over here. And once you've done that, move into that directory with that command, and type in git init just like that, and that'll create an empty GitHub repository on your local computer. And once you've done that, you'll want to connect this repository to the remote one that they have on GitHub. And you do that by typing in git remote add origin and a link to the repository that you just made, which should be right here on that page. Then to make your own, first commit, just create a file in this repository, and then type in git add -a with all these options, and that adds everything in the current directory to the repository. And then type in git commit. And this creates like a checkpoint or a commit on the local repository that you have on your machine. And to push this repository to the remote one, type in git push origin master. And that's it. And all of those instructions should be on the page earlier from your first GitHub repository. And if it works, you should be able to refresh the page, and it should look something like this. Is anyone having any problems with that?
How do you open up that white thing you had up earlier?
Oh, that's terminal. Just bring up the terminal program. It should be command prompt if you're on a PC, and then terminal if you're on a Mac or Linux.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Is everyone else good on that, or does someone want me to go over something? Yeah. Yeah, sure. Sorry.
How do I get there?
To where I am right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So once you've got a new folder made, the first thing that you have to do is initialize a new empty GitHub repository. So the way you do that is with this command right over here, and that'll initialize everything and prepare it. Once you have an empty repository, you have to add a remote origin, which is basically the remote source where everything's going to be stored and backed up. And the command you'd use is git remote add origin, followed by the link to the remote. Is this big enough, by the way? And then you can add a file into this folder just with this command touch and then the name of the file. And to add all of the files and commit your changes, you want to use these two commands. First, git add, and all the parameters that you pass in are the files that are going to be added to this repository. And -a and that backslash adds everything in the current folder. And then the next command, git commit, commits all the changes that you've made since your last commit onto your local repository. And the last command over here, git push origin master, takes all of the changes on your local box and pushes it to the remote origin. It didn't do anything?
Here, let me read it again.
Sure.
It says Git is not recognized as an internal or external command, operate program, or bash file.
Okay. I'll just come around real quick and help out everyone who has any problems then. Yeah, if anyone downloaded the graphical interface through GitHub, you're all set. You don't have to do any of this stuff with the terminal. This is for people who don't want to use the graphical interface or can't get information.
Do you use Oracle Box or do you use?
Yeah, I have a
I'm gonna try setting one up again.
Oh, yeah.
I think when he was pretty big, though, like somebody was I mean, like, I could have just, I was searching for it. I don't know. So then we realized it was like 5:30. Like, what's that o'clock? So like, you watch it. But did you measure like every single method that
Now you're gonna come over.
That's a lot.
You should maybe like choose. Just gonna let them go back to this thing. Yeah, that's why I thought I was doing this in like the light bulb, right? I think his bar. I feel like you're getting it. No. So one last thing.
I'd be away for you to submit it, and I'd like to see it.
It's based on. Well, yeah, what do you guys? Those first ones. I'm interested all of them are. So what I can do? I did download You done? Yeah. Wait. It's just to create a file. Yeah, you got it.
Next month, we'll try that. Yeah. I visited I mean, you should do a project. But like, if you just want to, you What? Wait, that's a weekend. Maybe not what I'm Let's go. Well, it's really not but both are out. Well, it's not. It's like but this is normal, like 1%. 216 is on that. It's like the example how it's hard.
Okay, let's move on to the next thing, which is branching. So GitHub, so Git in general, there's a feature called branching, which basically allows you to create another branch other than master that you can make commits and push to on the remote. And the purpose of this is generally master refers to whatever production-ready code that you have, whatever everyone else is using. And if you're adding new features, you don't want to be making changes to master because that would destroy the functionality for anyone who's trying to use your program. So the best way to do that would be to create a branch on GitHub, make all of your changes on that branch, and merge that branch back. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So once you've got the GitHub repository created and ready to use like this, you type in the command git branch and then the name of the new branch. And then to switch to that branch, you just type in git checkout and the name of the branch that you want to check out. And if once you've done the checkout, any changes that you make or anything that you push, it makes changes to the new branch. So if we create a new file, and you do all of the git add and git commit, and then push that. And when you're on a separate branch that's not master and you're pushing back to the origin, instead of typing in master where we had earlier, put in a new branch or whatever the name of the new branch that you created is. And that pushes all of that to the remote. And if you're ready to merge all of your changes back to master, you'd want to check out master and then merge all of the changes from new branch into master. And the way you do that is git checkout master, and then git merge and the name of the new branch. And that's it. So once you've done that, you can push the changes that you made to master back to the remote too. So is everyone good with branching? Anyone need any help or any issues with that? Okay.
I was just looking to create a file. You guys are like new files. We don't have. I still don't have. Pretty good. Those are pretty important. Well, it's all you know, the Windows command prompt.
Okay, I think the one
So like, I can always break that whole back up. That's what I've gathered. Like, if you wanted, if you like mess up, my friend was showing me. And I was like, I had no idea what you're saying. Because I'm like, no, it makes sense too. Like, if you make mistakes, you go back to your old version. All those things.
in your name.
Terminal cover. That's new though. That wasn't like that big. Like when I got my first one, I found it always. I got my first Mac. I should have won one. And like I couldn't do like anything like related to this. Like, I couldn't play any games. So I didn't like have anything for it. Now it's like everything. So I got a PC and like real like I didn't really know what to do. Like I was like a course. I was so good. Like I was like and then you realize that everybody uses it. No, I got it more and more. Actually, my first real classes. I was really sick. I got it in the class. I got a lot more. My first job. I got like good. No, I'm glad. Like,
I mean, I have. I watched it.
You can do like you better do like.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's.
I think it's kind of like somewhere like save. You want like. I don't think you right, to show you that. No, it wasn't that. It was on Apple. Terminals. It was one too.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people that like it's hard for you. Yeah, like how would you the whole room and it goes
Yeah. It's just like
Basically a box. It's gigantic. It's a
purposely
Oh, no.
no one. Never had this. Really? Once I have it, I'm like actually. See, I don't like that. I don't like the idea of tweeting that. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've never actually. So they took the like water. I didn't know. I don't believe it. I just put his phone under it, and it was like, yeah, I'm so worried, so you, I like it.
Like constant background. They don't really bother about buffers, just that.
Yeah, and once you do that, once you have something, then you should be able to go and go around. Okay, let's move on to a quick intro to Python. It's a really, really simple language. So if you've ever used Java before, it'll be really easy to pick up. You'll basically already know it. And it's really great for side projects and whatnot. It's a lot easier to get started with than Java, and the syntax is a lot cleaner and easier to figure out. So first of all, to make sure that you have Python installed on your computer, just type in Python in the command line, and something like this should come up. And this is an interactive Python REPL. So Python, unlike Java, it's an interpreted language. It's not compiled. So you don't have to compile your files beforehand or anything like that like you do with Java. And you can type code directly into this REPL, or you can run a file or whatever. So if you've got Python installed, open up any text editor and create a new file. And you can use any text editor that you want. This is Sublime, but like Eclipse, Notepad, Vim, Emacs, all of those are acceptable too and would work. So first, let's just save this to the directory of our Git repository. What's that? You can't use Eclipse with Python. Eclipse is an IDE. I don't think it supports Python. But if you want, you can go to sublimetext.com, and it's this text editor. It's really lightweight and pretty easy to use. Mm-hmm. So once you've got that Python file saved, you can start writing some code. So we'll just start off with a quick hello world program. And the syntax for that in Python is just print and then hello world. And once you have that saved, and once you have that file, you can just run it by typing in Python and the file name. And that's it for running a Python program. And does anyone have any issues with that? Okay.
I'm not really sure how to actually get essentially. Because like so like I'm so like I'm in the Python, I try to do like edit, like first
We do that.
So if I do that and then like it's basically called like first UI. Yeah.